Hello there. Hi, everybody. This is Kristen Fagan, the new episode of Free Spirit Beading here on the Softflex Company Facebook page and YouTube channel. You might also be joining me from our Softflex VIB Studio Facebook group or the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, time for some fun beading. So, who caught the great bead trade this weekend? Aloha from Hawaii, Tammy. Hi, Gail. It was on Friday. Hey, Lydia. It was on Friday. We had the great bead trade, which was a little fun, little mini event put on by some of the presenters of the Great Bead Extravaganza. Hey, Sherry. And I got to participate this time. I didn't participate in the first one, which was back in November of 2021. But I did get to participate in this one, which was just on Friday, May 13th, 2022. So much fun. Lydia says, bead trade was fun. It was, yes. I saw you on a few videos, Lydia, commenting and enjoying the event. So great to see you there. Marisol, the great bead trade-off was so much fun. It really was. And you can watch the replays. So if anyone did not catch it, you can go back and watch the replays. You can check them out over in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group. You can also check them out in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page. So if you have difficulty finding them on the group, you can head over to the page. It might be a little bit easier to find them over there because there's not as much stuff on the page going on. But yeah, so you can watch the replays. They were so much fun. They were so much fun. So for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, the Great Bead Trade was a mini event put on by some of us presenters in the Great Bead Extravaganza. And we each got a kit, which came in this adorable little bag. And it was a compilation of beading materials and jewelry making supplies from some of the people, some of the presenters in the Great Bead Extravaganza that were participating in the Great Bead Trade. So I have a few things left over here from my pouch that I didn't get to design with yet. And so I thought today I would take another look at everything and maybe make another design. It's really fun. Gail says, I agree that the Great Bead Trade was a lot of fun to watch. It is, all of us, we paired up. So it was two of us at a time, which I think is really interesting in and of itself, right? Because you've got two designers opening up the kit for the first time and doing something on the fly and just kind of chit-chatting with each other and chit-chatting with all of you. And you get to kind of have a peek into the design process of each of the people working, because most of us didn't know what we were doing beforehand. We did get the beads beforehand and you could take a look. I did peek and kind of see what was in there. And I had an idea in my mind. And then Sarah went before me and she started creating something that was so similar to what my idea was that I just had to throw it out and then just design on the fly anyway. And I'm laughing that was like so typical for Sarah and I, because we sometimes kind of finish each other's sentences. We've worked together and been friends for so long. But I also felt like it was a little like universe nod, like, hey, you don't plan that ahead of time. You got to think on your toes and design on the fly. So it was pretty great. Who else we got here? We've got Elena and Rosalinda. Hi, Becky and Joyce. Fern is here and Marisol. Marisol says, it was fun to watch and listen to the designers talk about their experiences and their method of designing. Yeah, I think it's just so, it's just so interesting. And as the designer, you don't feel like you're being interesting. You feel like, oh gosh, I'm on the spot. Everyone's watching. What am I doing? But when I watch other people, I'm just like, just enamored with it. I just find it so fun. Joyce says, I love your interpretation, Kristen. Thank you. So this was my final design. This was the one I ended up making on the video. For the most part, I did most of the beading and the initial idea on the video, and then I finished off with the silver silk afterwards, and I also finished with the wire wrapping here afterwards. And I'll show it you. I'll show it to you a little closer when I turn down, and it ended up being just fantastic. It ended up being just really great, and I'm so happy with it, and I think everything worked out just as it should, right? I'm wearing my fun Pantone spring summer earrings that I made a few weeks back that ended up matching just perfectly because the color of the year is very Perry, and the colors in this bead mix are very Perry-ish, along with bone and white and like a tanzanite and fluorite color. So that matched really well. And we have at Softflex Company right now, we've got 25% off the Pantone color collection. So it's the color of the year, very Perry, along with our spring summer collection of colors, which looks like this. So it's got fluorite, white, bone, and tanzanite. And then any bead mixes and beads that we've got, check glass beads, elk antler, we've got tanzanite gemstones in there, amethyst gemstones. So anything that kind of matches with that Pantone colorway, we put into that category, and everything is marked 25% off. That ends today, and you have to use a coupon code. So you have to use TGBT, which stands for the Great Bead Trade, right? So coupon code TGBT to get 25% off that category. You get entered to win one of these kits for yourself. We have 4 to give away, and we're going to be pulling from those that use the coupon to win a kit. I know our most coupons ended on Sunday for most of the presenters. Our coupon here at Softflex Company ends tonight. And I think Allegory Gallery also extended their coupon through today, because we're going to choose the winners tomorrow. So you can use, you can still use the TGBT coupon with softflexcompany.com. And I believe you can also still use it over at allegorygallery.com for the remainder of the day. Yes, 25% off. I know, it's a great deal. So if you haven't checked it out over there, go check it out and see if there's anything that you just must have for 25% off. That's one of our deeper discounts. And some stuff in there is actually on closeout sale. I know there's a few check glass strands that are, and even a mix that is already on sale, and then you get an extra 25% off with the coupon. So it's worth taking a look and seeing what's going on over there. Rosalinda said, it's funny how you and Nile were on the same page with your designs. Yes, Nile and I, we have a very similar color, like a color story. So it's funny, a lot of times our designs turn out looking a little similar, and we joke about that a lot. So I said to him, if it's not Sarah, then it's him. So I omitted the design that looked like the one Sarah was making, and then I ended up making something that was similar in line to what Nile made. It's so funny how that happens. Here my doggies walking around. They're wondering who I'm talking to right now because I'm the only one home. They're like, what is she doing? Who is she talking to? Sherry, loved how I finished that piece and got to watch the replays. Awesome. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And Jamie and Andrew, they were the last ones to go. And they were like the Energizer beading buddies. I think they went on for like 3 hours. So it was the end of the day, so I had to leave and go to my son's drama performance at school. And I checked in when I got there and I saw that they were still on. And I was like, oh gosh, you guys are still going. And then when he was done with the drama performance, they were still going. So I thought that was great. It was great that they went last because they had all the time to just keep going if they wanted to. Lydia says, loved yours and Christy's conversation. Yeah, I did too. It was a really good conversation. Christy was a little feeling like, oh no, I don't have any of my stuff, but I knew that we'd be able to roll with it. And just, we ended up having a really great chat, I think, during the presentation. So it was super fun. The Energizer beading buddies. Joy says it was a fun marathon of making and laughs. Yeah, it totally was. I'm so glad that I got to participate this time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what I've got going on at my beading table here. There's still a lot happening. So I'll point out a few things that are on sale in the Softflex Pantone color sale. So this is the quad. I'm holding up larger spools. These are 100-foot spools. So they will be 10-foot spools in the quad, which is this size. But these are the 4 colors that you'd get. And you'll get 25% off that pack. We also have the Duo, which is the Tanzanite. And I forgot to grab the purple. Let's see what the purple is. So you can also get the Duo, which is a 2-pack on 25% off. And that is the Tanzanite and the purple color. Since we didn't have a true Very Perry color at Softflex, we figured we'll put these 2 together and call it a Very Perry Duo. So it kind of gets a little bit of the blue and the purple in there. This is the Spring Fling Check Glass Bead Mix. I think we're down to less than 10 of these now. A small amount was put into the Great Bead Trade, and then we have a larger bag of them on the website that you can purchase. So I combined them, and now I have this little bit of an extra large mix of the check glass. And the way these work is they are just scoops. So you get a scoop of these random beads. You'll get some beads that are the same as mine. You'll have different quantities of them. They're just really a random assortment. But this gives you an idea of what you'll have in there. All the colors will be the same and all the shapes will be the same. You just might get different quantities of each. I think Andrew made a really pretty design with those beads, as well as Tracy used some in her design, some of the leaves and stuff that she used were from this mix. It is a bead soup. Yeah, I have some henna on today. Thomas noticed. Thomas is here with me today since Damien is on vacation still. He'll be back, I think, next week. But look at that pretty henna, right? I got that yesterday. My friend Jen, who is called La Luna Henna, she does a fabulous job, and she does henna on hands and pregnant bellies, and she does them for all sorts of occasions. So yesterday, one of our friends was closing her shop. She has a wonderful shop here in Arizona, in Gilbert, Arizona, and her family moving back to Indiana. So she had a little farewell shop closing get together, and my friend Jen was there doing henna. So that's where I got this done. And yeah, it's beautiful. I just told her I wanted the eye and I wanted a sun, and she can just do whatever she wanted. And that's what she created. And I think it's just so lovely. So I think it'll get a little bit darker because it happened last night. I think it gets a little bit darker by tomorrow, but even already, it's so beautiful. Love it, love it. So this mix is on sale, and I used that mix when I did this pendant. Do you remember we did this one together? This was using Christy Friesen's epoxy sculpt clay, and all of these little pieces, except for the seed beads, are beads from that Bead Soup Spring Fling mix. And then all of these little leaves around the ring are also from that Spring Fling bead mix that you can get on sale. So I wanted to share that with you. This one's been a fun spring design to wear. And then these are from the Spring Summer Pantone bead mix. We made these earrings a few weeks back. So this is an idea of some of the beads you get in that bead mix. I love these colors. They're just so soft and pretty. And I think someone, when we were doing the video, said it looks like a mermaid tail, and I couldn't agree more. They're like extra long mermaid tail earrings. And you'll see I used the 3 different colors of beading wire from the quad, 3 out of the 4. So I've got bone, fluorite in the center, and then tanzanite on the bottom. So you can get that bead mix is also in the TGBT coupon code 25% off sale. As well as these earrings. We made these in the same video. So we did this one, I think we made them in the same video. They might have been back to back. But these were also from that Spring Summer Pantone bead mix. The only thing I added on these were these sweet little tanzanite check glass flowers. That one was not in the bead mix, but they are in the sale category. So you can grab a strand of that along with it. So let's take a look at what we've got back. Those are cute earrings. I love them. I've been wearing them so much, which is kind of funny because they're just kind of little short and squatty. And I don't feel like I usually wear earrings kind of like that shape, but I'm finding I'm really liking them. They go with a lot of different things. Speaking of, they go with my necklace. So let me give you a close-up of the final design of the necklace. So it all started with this gorgeous bead from Calvin Orr. Calvin Orr is the art bead designer. And this was sent to us from the Bead Gallery Honolulu. So you can check them out at, what's their website? I think she's got more Calvin beads, the beadgallery.com. I think she's got more Calvin Orr beads on there for sale. And if she doesn't, you can probably just give her a little holler and ask her about them if you're interested. But it's a stunner. All of us got one, and it's fun because they were the same but slightly different, you know. I loved how mine had like this tiny ribbon of that periwinkle color running through it. And I know, and Lydia, I tried too. I don't know if I did it on camera, but I tried when I was looking at my beads even before we went live, because the hole looks like it's big enough, but it's almost like a little bit of an optical illusion because it's smaller than it seems to be. Like you think it's this whole dark area, but there's actually like a dark layer of glass around there. So I feel like there was an optical illusion, like you just thought it would fit and it didn't. So I strung the tanzanite through the bead and attached it to this pendant. And then I added my silver silk up the back. And silver silk comes with these great little clasps, these little end pieces, but I also really love just wire wrapping them. So I stick the wire, and this was from the kit too, it's the Softlex craft wire in 22 gauge in the silver plated silver color. You just take one end of the wire and you stick it through both strands of silver silk to make the connection, and then I just wrap around. And I just think that it's a fun, kind of organic and textured way to end it. Plus, I didn't know if I wanted to add a clasp, and if I did, I was going to use these on the back, but I ended up just making it long enough to fit over my head, so I didn't have to end up adding that. And since I still have more left, I can use these for a different design. And lastly, I took that same craft wire with these cute little cubes. These came in this spring fling bead mix too. So I just wrapped those cute little cubes all the way around with 2 of those little Hill Tribe spacer beads from Jill McKay, and wrapped it. And I feel like it just added that last little extra special touch. So I have those Hill Tribe spacer beads in here. I also have these beautiful check glass flowers. So those, all the silver spacers, the check glass flowers, and this Naja pendant are from our friend at Jill McKay, our friend Jill McKay. So you can find her at jillmckay.com, and she's just got some lovely things in there. The rings are from Tiara Cast, and you can actually get these at softflexcompany.com. We sell these in 3 different sizes, so you can grab those from us. And then this silver silk was a special colorway that Nile did just for our bead trade. So it's not, you can't get this particular one as of right now on his website, but you can get lots of other wonderful colors, and you can find him at silversilkonline.com. And now let's look at a few other things that I didn't get a chance to use yet. We've got this from my friends over at Allegory Gallery. It's a beautiful butterfly pendant. It's laser cut out of an acrylic material. And I think I'm going to end up using this with some of these beads in here, because there's a lot of this really pretty pinky purple colors in there. I also was thinking I might use it with these. These are also from Jill McKay, and they are another check glass flower, but they have more of a purple and green and silvery, antique silvery kind of finish on them. We had these cute little succulents from Tiara Cast also. We don't sell these currently. We did sell them in the past. They were kind of a limited item for us. Crimps and Findings from Softlex Company. Let me pull out all of Jill's stuff, actually. These are some of the other items from Jill McKay. This beautiful piece is from Green Girl Studios. And this beautiful sparkly mix here is from our friend Kay over at Stars Beads, starsbeads.com. And lastly, this is from my pal, Christy Friesen. And this is a polymer clay. She calls it like a who's-a what's it, which I think is super pretty. I love the color and the textured effect she got on there. Very, very cool. But I'm kind of drawn to this right now. I'm also thinking I want to add one of these Rivolis in here. I want to call it a ravioli. I think it would be so pretty inside of that pendant. I have one more little show and tell before I get started. So this is from our friends over at Allegory Gallery 2. I don't know if you heard, but they are starting their own pewter line. They acquired an artisan line of pewter beads, and they're going to be manufacturing them. And I bought myself a couple, and they are really, really gorgeous. So like I said, I think they have their coupon TGBT also still going on for today over at Allegory Gallery. And I think it's for the entire website. Let me go look, actually. Hold on just a second. Let me grab that info. Yeah, 20% off the entire store. So they originally were going to end that on Sunday, and I think they extended it until today. So I picked up some of these. I just wanted to give you a little show and tell because I think they are so pretty. This little amulet. I think they had copper too, which I'm now wishing that I probably should have just bought the copper also, because I ended up just doing the silver and gold. So that's what I got in the antique silver color, and then these are what I got in the gold. Ah, so beautiful. I can't wait to play with them. Oh, hi, Janelda. I didn't realize that Kay was on at the same time as me on Mondays. It's hard to keep up with everyone. Everyone's got so many things going on. And one of the sweet things they also sent me in their package was a little thing of sunflowers that I'm going to try and grow. And they said, thanks so much for the support of our small business. We really appreciate it. As a token of our appreciation and a showing of support for Ukraine, we've included this free gift with your purchase. And that's from our friends over at Allegory Gallery. I thought that was really sweet. I'm going to try and grow myself some sunflowers. All right. So first things first, I think I'm going to try and add this, this little Rivoli, am I saying that right? Into this component here. And I'm going to do it with some epoxy sculpt. On our video, Christy was saying that you could just kind of put this right into the epoxy sculpt and then even just bead all in all of these little frames, which would be really fun, especially if you have some little seed beads. But I don't have any little seed beads I want to put in there, and I think I want to leave it. I think I want to leave those open. So I was going to try and just put a little bit right in here and smash this in there. And I think I need a little something to work on. Here, actually, I could just work on a plastic bag. I've got this one here from Tiara Cast. So this is her epoxy sculpt. You can find this over at Christy Friesen's website. I think it's just her name, christyfriesen.com. And it's a 2-part epoxy clay. And she should suggest wearing gloves because it does create like a chemical reaction when you mix them together. But once they're mixed, then you can take your gloves off to work with it. And you just want equal parts of A and part B. And I'm just going to do this part first because it's going to take a little bit to dry. So I figure I'll do this and then we can move on. Let's see if these are look about the same to me. Okay, so I'm going to mix them together. So you want equal parts of part A and part B. Janelda says, it's hard to watch all of y'all live, but I work hard at it. You got a schedule, got alerts, alerts happening on your calendar. Debbie says, I love Jill's designs. She has some really, really lovely designs, doesn't she? I think she's a fantastic designer. Really, really nice. I always kind of go, whenever she posts a new tutorial or a new kit for the Great Bead Extravaganza, they're always so beautiful. She's got a wonderful eye for color and textures and putting things together. And I just think it's, she's got a great design sense. Becky says, I used to try to watch 2 at a time, but I would always pause when I was watching the other one. So that didn't work. Yeah, in theory, it sounds like, okay, I'll watch 2 and see what's going on, but then you miss stuff, right? So, okay, so I have a little ball here. Janetta says, sometimes I watch one on my phone and one on her computer. I think I mixed up way too much. Don't need this much. I don't need it. Since this is fairly new to me, using this kind of material, I guess there's a little bit of a learning curve of how much you actually need. If anyone of you saw my first pendant I made with Christy, it was so big. It's like, I just totally had the proportions all wrong. So what I'm doing now is kind of smushing it in here and then trying to peel away what I don't need. Because I just wanted to create a little nest of clay for that one piece to go in. Yeah, it just sticks and like hardens. And you don't even have to have it attached to anything. When I did this design, this is just the clay. So it's just the clay as the background. And then you just smush beads in there and then it hardens up. It's super cool. I'm going to poke the excess. Make sure it doesn't stay there because I don't want it to get hard and then stay. I think you got to work with it kind of quickly, like maybe within the hour, but it doesn't get fully cured until like 24 hours. But you can handle it, and it's, I don't think you can kind of stick things in it anymore after a certain period of time. And I just have this like, I think it's just a beading awl I'm using right here. There's all sorts of sculpting, clay little sculpting tools you can use too. But this is just what I had next to me, and it's doing what it needs to do, just helping me kind of clean this up a little bit. Okay, let's see what happens when I try and just put this right in there. I love how it just fits that hole perfectly. It's like Kay and Cynthia communicating about this, but I know they didn't. It's not totally flat on the, well, actually it's pretty close now that I'm pushing it down. Let me see how. On the back side, I can kind of clean it up too. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I thought it would be fun to show you this process, and then maybe we'll do something with it in the future. All right. I'm all done. So I'm just going to let this set. And I'll just leave it on this plastic piece right here so that I could peel it off. I think you have to be careful where you stick it down to because you don't want it to stick to your surface. I think Christy usually uses like a tile, a little white tile that you can get at the hardware store. But plastic bag works too. And now I have this glob. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? So what I did with this one is I added a little eye pin when the clay is still workable. And this way you have something to, yes, Becky says a silicone mat will work too. I think so. Yeah, I don't think it'll stick to silicone. I missed a few of your questions, Deb. Deb says, pretty, does it shrink when it dries or hold its shape? I think size, hold its size. It holds its size. Yeah, it doesn't change. So what you make it is where it stays. Well, since I have a little bit left, maybe I'll just go ahead and do something with it. It is black, so I want to use, let me see what I've got in here. What to do, and I have to think somewhat fast because I think that you got to make sure it's not starting to dry. I'm going to make myself a little eye pin. Oh, I was thinking about using this. That's right. Can I change that? Can I change my mind? I can. This came from Kay. She just put stickers on all of her packages. So I thought that that might be fun. To just stuff in here and see what happens. I know I have a lot of these little leaves. Okay, before I get too far, I should probably add a little pin. I know Christy says you have to work quickly, which is making me like anxious right now because I don't know how quickly. I don't remember that part. Oh, you have about an hour, Rosalinda said. Okay, I feel a lot better. I was starting to get nervous. I was like, ooh, I don't remember that part. You know, when you're taking a test and you don't remember that part of it, you're like, oh, I know we went over it. I don't remember. I mean, this could totally not work, but that's okay. Let's keep going and see what happens. I don't like to waste art supplies, right? I was like, okay, I have this little blob here. I don't want to just toss it. Let's take this blob and make something. And these are kind of sticking out of the clay, but I think that that's okay. Let's see, I've got one. Do I have any more? 1 and 2 more. Because once it hardens, it should just hold it. This is what I got going on. From blob to beautiful. Says Deb, from blob to beautiful. I like that. Should I try and add anything in these little corners? I have, let's see, do I have anything that color? I do have these. I don't know if they're going to hold on there. And I have a couple of these little amber colored seed beads in here. I'm just going to stick them at the top so I get that amber color. even though I don't have any more leaves. I think tweezers are helpful here. Do I have a pair nearby? No. I have a pair somewhere. From blob to beautiful. Aha. All right. Bent nose pliers. All right. There we go. It's kind of got a little bit of a sunflower-ish vibe. I don't know. Quick, how fast can you stick stuff in it? It's kind of how I felt. But hey, I think it's interesting. Rosalinda loves it. Thank you. Beware of the blob. It creeps and leaps and it looks gorgeous with beads adhered to it. Paulette says it looks cute. Paula says looks great. Rosalinda loves it. Joyce think it's cool. Yeah. That stuff is fun. That stuff is really fun. This is the black color, but I did end up ordering the white color from Christy too. So you can get it, I think, in black, white, and blue, I think is the other color. And so I was like, oh, now I need the white one. I haven't opened that one yet, though. Like, now I need the white one to play with. All right, I'm going to put these aside and let them cure. Once they harden up, I'll take a picture and I'll put it in the Softlex VIB Studio Facebook group. Thanks, Janelda. It's great job, Kristen. Deb lives about 20 minutes from where the original movie The Blob was filmed, but I definitely prefer your little blob. Right? Sherry says, need to get some clay. Totally. How fun was that? I feel like it's kind of a just one of those, you have to do it fast, and a great way to just kind of play with different shapes and use your beads in a whole new mosaic style. So I don't have a whole lot of time left, but maybe I'll just sort of do a little design thinking with this one. See what I've got for these beads. There's a lot of these really pretty little pinky purple check glass in this mix. Ooh, that could be fun stacked up. Janelda says, did you paint your butterfly or did it come that color? It came this color. I think Allegory Gallery has quite a few different colors, like maybe 6 or different colors that they have in this material, and then they laser etch from. Soplex says, wow, time flies when you're trying something new. It does. I know I didn't expect to do 2 pieces with the clay. But, you know, like I said, I didn't want to let that go to waste. I kind of like these little beads too. Oh yeah. I'm just kind of looking for things that have pairs, although I guess it doesn't really matter. My mind kind of looks for pairs first, and then it might loosen up. Lots of cute little hearts. Lots and lots of them, actually. That's cool. I didn't realize there were all these little tiny hearts in there. Very sweet. Okay. I like that. Do I have any more of those? Just one more. Okay. All right, let's see. So I'm thinking here. I like the white with that pink color. I think it's kind of fun and fresh feeling. Hmm. Janelda says, I like the stacked look. Judy loves it. Joy says it makes each other stand out. Yeah, I like the white with there. I think so too. Getting a bit symmetrical, but I think that's all right. Maybe a little pop of purple. And then I may just use all these little hearts. to go up the back. Those are slightly different. Actually, I do want the bigger ones in the middle, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's try and put that together. Do I want to add these little ones in there somewhere? I was thinking maybe around like a little cluster, possibly. Let's start. And using the craft wire, make a pendant. Might be a little stiff. Let me make it a loop. I was going to try and just wrap it around, but it feels like it's going to be a little stiff like that. Instead, I'll use my that'll probably fit. Just take the longer one and I'm going to bend it up. And then holding on to it, I'm going to wrap, actually holding this way. I'm going to wrap around. I don't want to do too many because I wanted to pop in this bead and just kind of see how that sits. Tuck that wire under and then I can add this bead on top. I might come back and add some jingle jingles later. Bend my wire at the top here and then place it in. I'm going to use the middle size mandrel. Create another loop. Just open that up and add it to here. I think this design could be fun if I wanted to like play and do connectors. I don't do that very often. Make a bunch of connectors and then connect them. It just, my mind feels a little time consuming for me, but I always really like the way it looks. I do think that this would probably be pretty cute with a little dangle thing going on. Yes, Kim. I have some henna. I have some henna tattoos today. I got it yesterday. One of my friends, she is a henna artist, and I was lucky to see her yesterday, and she did her beautiful art on my hand. Yeah, the hearts here, they're like really tiny. They're a very light pink, almost clear, but have like just a smidge of pink tone to them. So cute. So cute. So what color beading wire? If I'm working from my summer colors here, I could go with white, which would keep it nice and kind of bright. Or I can introduce some purple if I wanted to make it like a pinky purple. I'm thinking white. Keep it a little bright, and then it'd be nice with a white t-shirt or something like that. Oh, Deb says amethyst. Janelda says white. Oh, I dropped one. See, not just beads jump to the floor. A couple more for white. Deb says white is good too. I do have pink tourmaline, but I was just pulled out my wire colors from the spring and summer quad, but pink tourmaline could be a good option too. Let's grab some of these Softlex 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. I'm not going to string the whole thing with you, but we'll crimp and get it started. So we'll just add the crimp tube here, and then I'm going to attach it to this ring. I'm going to use my magical crimping pliers and make sure my wires are parallel. Then place that crimp right inside that notch on the magical crimping pliers. Give it a good squeeze. Turn it 90 degrees. So you first squeeze, you get that ravioli, which is like a pinched four-corner square, and then I put it in 90 degrees and squeeze, and then I go around a couple more times. Ravioli time. I think I'll just string up the one side. Double these up. And take a look and see what I think. like how these match that so well. This is where I would get busy, like stringing and restringing and stringing again. So I get a little carried away sometimes. Let me see what this looks like on there. Feels kind of dark. Everything else is just sort of light and bright. Do you feel like you do that a lot? Or do you just lay it out on your bead board and then once you string it, you're good to go? I don't work on a bead board too often, so maybe that's part of it too, is I like to just jump in there and start stringing stuff, but then once I string it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done this. Oh, I have like these, like I've got these two little hill tribe. Those would be nice, I think, maybe before I start all the hearts. Sherry changes her mind a lot. Debbie changes all the time. Janelle just strings and restrings. Oh, good. I'm in good company. That's why I love bead stoppers, because then I could just think about it. I don't have to crimp right away, because once you crimp, that's it, unless you want to really restring it, which I definitely am guilty of that too. There are some times I waste an exorbitant amount of crimps because I want to string and restring and I've already crimped it. Yeah. Elena says, I have to practice more the ravioli time. It appears to me that I'm making too much force on the crimp. The crimp looks like a truck ran over it. Yeah, you don't have to squeeze real hard, more just like like a firm handshake. You don't need to really smash it. And also, you could be a little off center, and that would cause it to give like a very kind of smashed and jagged edge kind of look to it. I would suggest crimping without any beads on it, just practicing with the wire. Put the crimp on and create a little loop or circle and just practice crimping like that. You can use our copper crimps. I think some people find the copper crimps, because they're a little bit thicker than the silver and the gold, can be a little bit easier to practice with. And it's definitely very much a feeling. So I always try and pay attention. Well, I pay attention to a couple of things. I pay attention to how I'm holding the tool, and if I get a really good crimp. Well, in my case, I tend to get good crimps more often because I do this so much. So when I get a really bad crimp, I tend to go, oh, was I holding that tool in a weird way? And I did find that when I'm holding the tool with the numbers facing out, that I do a better job than when I'm holding it with the patent information facing out. So I try and remember to keep those going outwards. And that's just me. I don't feel like that's other people have said that. Sarah doesn't feel that way. But for me, just for whatever reason, maybe it's just the way I hold it. I don't know. You want to get that crimp right in the center of your notch. And you want to feel it, because if it goes, I'll show you what happens. You get a good first crimp, and then if you move it, so there I got a good first one. My four corners are pinched nicely. Now I go to place it back in, but I move it and I place it too far ahead. See how it's not in the hole at all? And I squeeze it, and now it's going to look more like just a flat, smashed crimp. And that was me moving it a lot. If you only move it a little bit, I think it actually can be worse. Hey, I was able to salvage it. So what I did to salvage it is I just kind of keep placing it back in the notch and go around a few more times. And sometimes you can salvage it. Sometimes it's a lost cause. But in that case, I was able to take my flat crimp and fix it. The other thing is, I know our friend Nile likes to have 3 wires running through. So he'll sometimes pick up a little extra wire and slide it in there to give it a better hold. And maybe that's something that might help you out if you're struggling. I'm trying to see if I can do it poorly to give you an idea. And the other one turned out good, so that was kind of funny. Okay, so now I wasn't in that notch, and look what happened. It just sort of, so now if I put it back in again and I'm not in the notch again, like I'm off kilter, that's what you're going to end up. Can you see that? Is it going into focus okay? It has more like jagged edges. It may still be pretty secure. So let me see. Like if I were to pull on this, it's actually still really secure. It just doesn't look great, and it could have a little rough edging. So in this case, if you do have crimp covers on hand, you could fix it by covering it with a crimp cover, because it is secure and it's not going anywhere. It just doesn't look great. So that would be another suggestion, is while you're learning, to have some crimp covers on hand, just in case you've got some funky looking crimps that you want to cover up, and you don't want to have to restring the whole thing all over again. Janelda says that happens to me sometimes, so I cover the crimp. Yeah, that's what I do too. And then you can even cover it, like I've used craft wire to cover crimps too. Like just do a little wire wrapping around a crimp. Sometimes it just adds to the design, and then it just makes it look like you meant to do that. Nobody needs to know what's going on under it, right? All right, so there's my sweet little design. I think I'll do the other side up, and then just put a little crimp here and leave the rest of the wire to the back. I don't know if this purple is not making sense now. I thought it looked okay. What do you think? Is it standing out a little bit too much, like not in a good way? That's another great idea. Janelda says, I've used a bigger hole bead. So she's gone ahead and added a bigger hole bead to the strand to cover it. That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't notice until, see, this is the whole restringing thing, right? I didn't notice until I stopped and took a look and went, it looked okay when I was lining it up, but it doesn't really look okay now. So I think I'll have to take that little purple bead out and let it just be pink and white and very sweet. All right, I think that's it for me today. Oh, let's take a look before I, let's see if I can take this off the thing here. Yeah. We could take a closer look at what happened here. That's fun. I'm going to have all these funky, fun pendants and not know what to do with them. And this I just love. It reminds me of like a little dragon eye or dragon medallion or something now. I'm thinking I might make something bracelet with it. Yeah, the top of a wizard's staff, right? So cool. Super cool. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that piece. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. And remember, you can go save 25% off with the TGBT code over at softflexcompany.com for the Pantone colors of the year. And that ends today, May 16th. And anyone that uses the code will be entered into the drawing to win one of those Great Bead Extravaganza kits. Super cool. A lot of fun stuff in there to play with. Thanks for being here with me. Janelle just says, thanks for a wonderful live today. Either one would make a pretty bracelet. Yeah, they would. So fun. Thanks, Lori. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. So I'll be back next Monday with a new episode of Free Spirit Beading at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And until then, happy beading. Thanks, Rosalinda. I'll see you all soon. I don't think we've got Sarah on Wednesday. She is on vacation. It's her birthday tomorrow. So I don't think we have a Wednesday video. So I don't think we have another video planned again until I'm back here next Monday. So share what you've got going on in our SoftFlex VIB studio group. And if you're working on, what's our kit right now that we're working on? Why am I drawing a blank? We're working on the Paris kit, right? Yeah. Parisian Couture, yes. So if you're working on your Paris kit, share your designs with us. If you haven't gotten your Love is Love kit, that's still available at softflexcompany.com. We're about 72% sold out. And I think for the Love is Love bead mixes, there's only 5 left. So those are almost gone. We have some of the bead strands left too. And I don't remember how many of those, maybe a dozen or so. So Love is Love is an amazing kit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you love rainbows and you love all the colors, that is a kit for you. Looking forward to working with that one, of course, right? All right, everybody. Lots of love. I will see you next week. Happy beading. Yeah. Thanks for being with me today. Bye.